Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Just wanted to do this live webinar. Don't forget about our DVD that just came out last week. Also, we got lots of other cool stuff. I got a new website here. I'm just loading her up, which is our new store that I just put together here. Okay. There it is. So if you come over to quantlabs.shop, it's a fairly new domain I just launched 2 days ago. As you can see here, we have a sale here of 50% off on everything for the store. I'm going to be shutting that down tonight. So if you want to get the DVD I just mentioned, that's 50% off. Everything is 50% off. I'll be doing a live workshop in the next week or two. For about 4 or 5 days, you'll be able to get this Elite with the workshop at half price. All right, so there's that. And don't forget about our books as well. You can get them here, filling out all the details. I'll be changing all this around in the next few days. It'll be put up on that quantlabs.shop. Okay, so let's start talking about trading and favorite stock metrics. I've got over here the good old MotiveWave running. We've got a question already coming in from James. What about paired trading? Here's a problem with paired trading. I can actually show you that regarding, let's check out Tesla as an example. You can see here, Tesla's been on a rampage since about November. So it's gone up from, let's say, $300 to a peak of $525, but that's over 2 months. So it's almost doubled. I can show you certain pairs. I mean, they're smaller stocks, but they're tiny. And it doesn't matter what time frame you want to trade on. We're not here to talk about that. What we want to talk about, of course, is the return, the metrics themselves. So if anyone else got any comments, let me know. So as I've said before, with MotiveWave, which is this, we have over 275 to choose from. I've got. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. You can choose anywhere among these at any time. But the question is, when you use certain metrics or studies, as they call them, in MotiveWave, is that they lag, and there's certain ones you don't want to lag. So let me go into here and pull up what are the best performing stocks right now. So if I go over to Bing, let's say, best performing stocks today. All of these are going to be in the US. So I don't know, let's say top pick. Let's just pick out one of these these are probably going to be a stock promoter, so you have to be very careful. We're just using these for demo purposes. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple here. As I said, if you got any questions, just type them up. I'll be glad to handle them. But this is for James's question regarding that. Yeah, so this is definitely a stock promoter. You gotta be very careful on these guys. No, we don't want Canadian. Let me see here. Remember, Bazinga has okay. Let's see what Bazinga's got. So we'll choose the ones under $5 as one of the requirements. So, wow, this is really old. Okay, well, let's look at one of these, I guess. What we have these guys as well. Is there any particular stocks you guys want to see? Let me know. I'll gladly look at it, and we'll throw some metrics at it. Let's say Box XL as an example. This is from September, but we'll do a daily. Okay. Okay. Box XL, if you can find it. So it's a small cap box light, I guess. So here we are. So you can see it hit its peak here, and that was September. It hasn't done a whole lot, but it is coming back, it looks like. Today looks like a good day. So let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, you can see here, so it's gone from $1.10 to $1.50. So that's going to be about 30% return. So this is what I'm speaking about when it comes to James's question about paired trading. I mean, you can do paired trading over a week, couple of weeks, couple of months, but you'll get small returns. But if you were to do the same kind of concept on certain pairs like here, you could do the same concept in intraday. Let me just pull up our worst performing. So let me choose AEMD. Okay, so I'll type that guy in. That's for the short. Let me just do a search here. AEMD. And there we go. Athlon Medical. We'll choose that one. Let's say. Okay. So this one's not a good one, but if you were to choose a 45-minute or an hour time frame, that drop right there versus the Box L, that might have been an okay pair trade, but how do you trigger that? How do you pick that up? So that would be an okay trade if you get lucky by choosing these two. So I think you can make more money faster by doing intraday, as known as day trading, but how do you know which ones to pick? This is what the stock metrics or the stock metrics are for this. But the problem is, how do you know which ones to pick off? That's part of the challenge. I've talked to somebody last Friday about it, and they gave me some really good ideas using bid-ask spread as well as the volume as well. So these are just two examples I'm looking at right now. So a couple of that I can think of right now that are pretty good is I've got some templates that I use. Let me see here. We don't have any templates loaded. Okay, so I'm going to show you two that I know that work combination that seem to do okay. Now, again, this is specific to MotiveWave, but they're pretty good. I don't know if other platforms have this out of box, and the standard edition is only $250. Okay, I mean that's for data, but to trade, I think it's $500 for that particular edition. But if I was to show you certain studies, there's one, the Ichimoku Cloud, or similar to it. This one a lot of people like. Okay, so you can see here, this one's really important because you see you're signaling here on the entries. Now, you can use these as a way to measure entries and exits, but the problem is the entries work well, really good, and they work on any time frame. So if you wanted a 50-minute time frame, so this will work universally on any time period. You can even put it down to 1 minute. So one thing I want to show you that you need to be aware of is if you know if a stock is being manipulated, because these two are very small, like under $5, you can see that this one I would think is manipulated because of the minute moves. The magnitude of the swings are very identical, so somebody's controlling that. But if I looked at an hourly chart, it looks natural. Okay, so if I was to show you, let's say Tesla on a minute chart, you can see those swing changes for each minute are very natural. Okay, whereas opposed to this one on a minute time frame, that to me looks manipulated. Same here, probably on the box L. So we have to, okay, this one's more natural as well. But yeah, this one's clearly not manipulated, but the AEMD seems to be manipulated. So that's just one thing you can look for on the minute time frame, but it doesn't mean that you can't make money off it. You could. Just got to use the right combination. But going back to what I was saying earlier about the Ichimoku, you can see here you get the entries and the exits as well. So if I was to look at the details of the study here, we have full-on metrics that we can look at. So we can, one big thing is the signaling. So we can send out signals on a buy and entry. So this particular study can be a self-contained study for both entry and exits. But here's the problem. When you look at these, you'll see that there's a lot of false positives. And that's the hard part about trading, is these false positives can work, but when you put on the position, you get too many of them and you add in the commission, you're gonna lose money on these type of trades. But the best way to battle that is to go on a higher time frame. So in our case, we have 1 hour, 1 day. So the 1 day might be an okay way to trade, depending upon the stock itself. So Ichimoku is not bad, but then you can throw in your stop loss. Okay. One thing I'm trying to verify from MotiveWave is when you look at all the types of stops available to you for the exit, we have the ATR, elders, percentage trailing stops, and volatility stops. The volatility stops are pretty good if you have a volatile stock or instrument. Okay. So here we have numerous options that we can have. We can close on the mid price, which is what a lot of professionals use. Let me see if there's a midpoint. Yeah, the midpoint. So you can close on the midpoint. So in that way, to allow for slippage. So if you're going to close on the midpoint, it's better because you'll have a higher percentage of profiting when you close out or exit on your midpoint, just as a tip. So if I was to show you that study, you'll see this is pretty good. So you can see here, volatility is designed to identify exit points for either long or short positions. Okay, so if I put those in, but I have to probably do a 1 week or a 5 minute. Let's see if I can see the mark. You can see here the markers right here. So here's the markers. These stops right here. These work a lot better than using the Ichimoku stops. They work, but or the best way to do it is to combine Ichimoku for your entry, and then you can use either the volatility stop or the Ichimoku stop itself, whichever one comes first. You can use those as a stop, so or an exit, whichever comes first. Okay, so those are really pretty good, and that's right out of the box. And you can also create alerts. So when it comes to for non-programmers, you can easily trigger your exit stop. I mean, you have to set it up manually for each setup, but you can set up a trade on the exit when that alert gets hit, and you can then set a place trade and do, let's say, a trail stop or stop loss or limit exit, limit order. So those are really good. And then you also have other ways to do it with the components as well. So there's so much here with MotiveWave. And this is why I'm putting out the request. What do you guys want to use? And we'll analyze it. We'll analyze the stock right now and see what we think. Okay. So let me pull up the components here, which are really good as well. You can see here all the components. So one thing I used to use, let me get rid of these studies here. So that's the Ichimoku combined with the volatility stop. And also another one that I've been playing with, which I really like, which doesn't appear to lag as well, is the VWAP. This one's really good too. But here's really good because if you use these standard deviation bands, I can display them for standard deviation 1, 2, and 3. From a statistical standpoint, if you're using standard, normal would be standard deviation 1. Once your price or the VWAP goes beyond standard deviation 2, that can either be an exit or an entry. And then 3, if the price hits that, then that would be considered a pretty extreme move. So here we barely can see it. But if I do maybe an hourly, yeah, you can see here the VWAP. So this line right here is the standard VWAP that most people would see. This blue would be the standard deviation 1, green would be 2, and red would be 3. So if I zoom in on this, okay, you can see these lines. And when you study the price, so right here, you can see that this wick hits that standard deviation 1. So you ask yourself, is that an entry? Here it is, okay? And this is like more like an oscillator or a mean reverting type of strategy system that you can use, but it's best to combine it with other indicators as well. As I said, if you got any ideas, let me know, and I can definitely look at them, let you know what you think, because this is a very rare opportunity to do this with Motive Wave, being able to show you this. If there's anybody out there who's got any comments or questions, let me know. I can also show, there's a pile of them. It's a never-ending plethora of studies. You have virtually every kind of, so for instance, for me, if I'm going to be studying bid-ask spread, I can look at bid-ask spread, bid-ask volume. And in this case, I want to know the bid-ask spread. Okay. And let me just change. Well, let me get rid of the VWAP here first. So this would be more useful for either pre-market news. So in my case, if I do a study on bid-ask spread, as I said, and this is a good stock to do this test on. Options. Okay, so if I do the open bid-ask spread, I think that might be the better place to do that. And let's see if we can see it. I don't think we can see it. 1 minute. Not sure if these are. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played with this. Let me just do this again here. We'll do the close. And I'll choose a different color. So we'll do orange. And we'll do, I don't know, purple or something. Well, something light. We could do white. Maybe might be able to see it. I don't see it. But, there's a lot to play here with. Let me see if box L. Looks like this is the volume bid-ask spread right here, I think. I'd have to do some reading on it. But when you play around with this, it's really good to do this because it's all out of box. So if I look at bid-ask spread volume, it might be my data, it might be as well because I'm using IQ feed. Let me just pull up this guy here as well. So we have some signaling we can do, blah, blah, blah. Here's our bid-ask volume right here. So depending upon the time frame, let's see if I can do a day. No. Let me see if I can apply that to something like Tesla, bigger stock. Okay, we'll do bid-ask volume. Yeah. I don't know, but potential is there. Anything else? If not, we can give this webinar a wrap because the whole idea is to involve you, dear watcher, Anybody else have any questions at all? But you know, I have a whole pile to play with here, to walk away with. Anything from anybody? Okay, so we'll, I guess, give it a wrap unless somebody's got something in the meantime. As I said, you can get the books here at quantlabs.net/book at this site, but this will be changing in the next few days. If you want to know about our new algorithmic-based DVD, as I said, got coming out right here. That's out now. You can get that shipped to you as well, anywhere in the world. And what else? What else? Oh, and our sale as well. As I said, you just come over to the quantlabs.net shop if you want the 50% off, which will be shutting down tonight. Anything else from anybody? I'll wait it out for a while because we already talked about for James on the paired trading. It can be done, but it's a little bit involved compared to just doing it directly on one stock. It's much easier. Anybody? If not, we'll give it a wrap. But okay, I think we're done then. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Again, if you want to get your 50% discount and everything that's going to shut down tonight, you can come over to the new quantlabs.net shop, quantlabs shop for all that. And I guess thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day.